Hi, Joy Warriors. So let's talk about community. Community, to me, is just not created in a day, but is one of the most important parts of all of our lives. I think especially since I come from someone who didn't have much community growing up, I see how important it really is. Humans are social creatures, and it's how we build upon our happiness, reflecting on what's inside of us, outside of us. So sometimes having our community was what witnesses whatever growth or change that we're making internally, and then when we see it reflected externally, it just really helps make it fall into action more. So making ourselves more active in our community, especially in this digital age, is more difficult, but it means it's even more important than it ever was before. So this is how I do it. So I travel a lot now, and it's getting harder and harder to have community, even though I sort of do have this world community that can be a little virtual through something like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, which is lovely, but you lose that physical connection, and sometimes I can have all this connection with people on Facebook or and social media, but I haven't actually talked or held or seen a real person in a 24-hour period, and that can be really hard, I think, on my spirit, and I'll feel a little sad and lonely. And one of the ways that I do that is that even when I'm really tired or I'm jet lagged from a trip, I make sure that I either call people that are in my community or that are within my inner circle of friends, so I have that kind of connection. But even in my neighborhood, like if I'm walking in my neighborhood, I make sure I go to the coffee shop and say hi to my neighbors on the way. I make sure I'm friends with the places that I hang out and eat, and I ask them how they are and stay connected. There's a little place that I go dancing that's not far, that's walking distance from my house once a week. And even when I'm exhausted, it's late, it's a Monday night, they play Monday Motown music, and I love it. And some days I'm just so tired, I feel like, oh, I shouldn't go, but I go anyway. Because what happens is me being there almost every other week helps create this sense of community, and people ask where I am when I'm not there. And then I feel connected to them and they feel connected to me. And it just really creates this solid foundation. So when I'm traveling the world, I know I have this family and this connection, and it reminds me who I am when I get in situations that can be dangerous or uncomfortable. Like I have a home base. Same thing where I swim in the ocean. I have created a community of people that I swim with. And while the swim is amazing, it's also the community. It's creating these families. And what I hear so many times, what people start to get after past their 20s, they start to say, oh, I'm too old for that. And I feel like that conversation that I'm too old for whatever is one of those things where I'm too tired that keeps us stuck and not having the life that we want. So it's important to find face-to-face communities in addition to virtual ones that witness in the expression of ourselves in this world. So let me ask you, how are you establishing or building community in your life today and making it a priority? It's important to make your kids and your husband and your wife your priorities and your family, but it's also important to have outside relationships that mirror back so that you can constantly keep those relationships really wholesome, because you're also interacting with all of these other pieces and people in the world that give you a reflection of who you are and help you grow. And community is one of those things that do it, that we've sort of lost in our digital age. And working in communities like in Africa, where I see how the community has such an integral part in how people really have their joy in life, I think is something that they have to teach us. So if you already have a community, how do you enhance that? And if you don't, what kind of risks are you going to take to go make that happen? So I want to hear what you have to say. If you have any questions, if you want more ideas, you just let me know and I'll put some more together. But looking forward to hearing everything you got. So go find community and help and hug and love each other.